Hi, you guys. So, today I'm going to be doing a Sagittarius love reading. This is going to be from the 1st of July. Okay, it's going to be in the beginning of July. Whew, excuse me, sorry. That burp was from sparkling ice, kiwi, strawberry. Okay, so let's see what's going on with your person here. I'm hearing, do you see what I see? Okay, so can I get an icy? Do you see what? I'm trying to look up the song. I think this is like a Virgo thing. Yeah, but I think somebody that you're dealing with is trying to catch on or trying to catch somebody. Okay, trying to catch somebody at maybe in 1988. Do you see what I see? Maybe this person walks on train tracks. Yeah, hunters and collectors. Maybe somebody likes to hunt and they like to collect shit. Now you're just somebody that I used to know. Somebody. Hmm. Alright, so maybe somebody is after somebody. Now you're just somebody. Maybe somebody's after somebody and you're like, okay, when is this person coming towards me? Maybe they on a hunt to figure out what's going on with somebody else, trying to catch somebody in an act or some shit like that. And I feel like Sagittarius, like you guys are always dealing with somebody who is just putting you second. They always put you second for some reason. I'm not gonna lie. And they's over here like focused on somebody else, but I don't like that style sometimes because it's like, you may fuck around, end up, like focusing on this other person, but you're losing like what's going on over here. You know what I'm saying? I remember telling somebody that. Leo Cancer. Um, what is it? G-O-T G-O-T-Y G-O-T-Y. Oh, that's him. What's his zodiac sign? So his zodiac sign is a Gemini. Maybe you guys are dealing with a Gemini. I'm also hearing be careful, some men be rapists, so act your age, don't pretend to be older than you are. Give yourself time to grow. You thinking he can give you wealth, but so young boys. Yeah, his birthday is September 14th, okay, and he's a Virgo. So this could be something about a Gemini and a Virgo. But I think this is a message that the universe is trying to give you. Some be careful. Some men be rapists or act your age. Don't pretend to be older than you are. Give yourself time to grow. You thinking he can give you wealth, but so young boys. You could use a lot of help. Like somebody's trying to spit wisdom to you, and I think it's a Virgo. Okay, it's like whoever you're paying attention to, or the person that you really want. Sometimes God put that person or the universe put things in your life here, but they just want you to be like a watcher, okay? Because you don't have certain things for a reason. Like, don't be trying to beg and do this and that and third for a man's attention or a woman's attention, or maybe somebody's name is Amanda, okay? Like, don't be doing all that shit. Because, like I said, I don't think it's a coincidence, right? No, some men be rapists, so act your age, don't pretend to be. So act like how you act. Because I think you may be dealing with a rapist. Or a child molester or something like that. A abusive person here. Like, just be careful. And maybe little nods is important too. I'm hearing thank you. Like, always stay humble and kind. Little nods. And this one is for the champion. Nas, he's an Aries. I told you long ago on the road, I got what they waiting for. You was never really rooting for me anyway. And when I'm right back at the top, I wanna hear you say, right? I told you long ago, I don't run from nothing, don't get your soul. Something's gonna break it down. Tell me what's going on with Sagittarius person. So we have fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Nas, little Nas. We have Sagittarius, that's you, and Hangman. And we have the Two of Pentacles, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn here. So this person is just gonna put themselves in your life here with the Hangman here. So you do have somebody that is like just looking at you. They're looking at you, they thought about it, and they're like, fuck it, I'm gonna just do it. So this is not somebody that's putting you on the back burner finally, because a lot of you fucking readings has been like, well, this person's and then y'all monthly reading, it was just like, oh well, like inconveniences, and it's like, dude, come on. But this one in the beginning of July, somebody's definitely putting, like, they're like, all right, I got all the enlightenment that I need. I'm gonna just stop going fucking back and forth, and I'm gonna just like be in Sagittarius face. You know what I'm saying? This person is definitely continuing to master, wanting to talk to you, bring a topic up, or flirting with you, message you about something. I think they just want to know if is it okay if you're around them, if they're around them, if they're around you. Like, can they be around you more? Or some shit like that. Why would it not be okay? What the fuck are you doing, Sagittarius? I feel like Sagittarius is like, I don't know, I don't fucking know. But maybe they have a certain way of living, and maybe you don't mesh with that shit. Maybe this person's very flirtatious, is always talking, giving messages, and you'd be like, oh, I don't want to hear that shit. Let's clarify the King of Wands. I was in a reading, and I was like, I'm thinking about like, oh, you know, I forgot what zodiac that was, sign that was for, but it was talking about like how, okay, I'm gonna come in for you, but you gotta know who I am first before, like, you know, I give you, like, we go all the way. It was like, oh, it was Sagittarius. That was, yeah, go watch the end of June reading for you guys. That was your reading. That was y'all reading, sorry. Let's clarify the King of Wands. Clarify the King of Wands. Yeah, it's rare for this person to like present themselves like this to you here. Clarifying the Hangman, we have fire energy. Clarifying the Two of Pentacles, we have Sagittarius energy. So yeah, you're all over. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, somebody's definitely putting you first. They put you first. You're a fucking sticker to them. It's rare for this person to be like, oh, I'm all about like Sagittarius. Not that you're not important, but it's just that's not usually how this person does things. You know, that's not how that usually goes. So yeah. This person's definitely sucking your butthole. It's really fucking loud too. They're overpowering that shit. Yeah, I don't know if this person's like with a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn here. Maybe somebody's like 41, 44, 29, in their 30s. They're in their late 20s or some shit like that. But it's pretty obvious that like, or it's pretty obvious and loud that this person's fucking with a Earth sign here, and they're just chilling. So maybe they were chasing after an Earth sign here. Yeah, they still rolling with this person here, but they all about you, and that's probably why it's rare, because they all about you, and they have a friend already. They have an Earth energy already. Why is this person like? There's a Pentacles. Yeah, because I think you're working on yourself. Like you're maybe well known. Okay, you give out money, you help the community or some shit like that. I don't know. Well, there's Six of Pentacles. You have the Nine of Pentacles too. You're taking care of yourself, self-love. You're taking risks in life here, but you got backstabbed by a job, an institution, a Taurus, a marriage, a relationship here. And you're not really working. You're not really like going in that direction here. It's not something that you want, but you're gonna get communication from this. but it's like a hit it and quit it. So if somebody's like, oh, can we make up? Can we do this? They just want to fuck. That's it. And then be out. They're making their way towards you very slowly here. We have the King of Cups here, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. This person is emotionally mature, so you probably think that, oh, this person's serious now. They're just emotionally mature. They're the King of Swords. I mean, they're the King of Cups. And they're coming back with precision and maybe information, but they still move hella slow. But like I said, they still just want to like hit it and quit it, have quick talks, and then be out. But they're emotionally mature. I had an ex-boyfriend like this, but he wasn't a sexual type though. I was a sexual type, but I was like faithful. I was faithful and consistent, and if he says otherwise, then I mean, like, I'm not the one that left. I'm not the one that's like sitting there working for the ex-best friend. Stop calling her that shit. One day I'm gonna figure out some type of, the ex-best friend, that's what I called her, job, and left for a goddamn friend versus somebody who was in a whole established relationship working our way to marriage. So, like, who's the dumb one, motherfucker? 'Cause you act like I was hitting you and trying to make you do drugs and shit like that when I was trying to make you a better man, telling your ass to finish college, do this, do that, like a mom, like a dad. Okay. And she want to sit up here when a girl dropped out of college and all this shit. I don't fucking know. Well, she ain't finished, but you had the privilege to finish. So, okay. That's why I'm like, anything that nigga says, bro, I don't give a fuck, bro. Cause I'm like, I did it, honey, and you could do it, and I'm right next to you. We taking the same class. How the fuck you fail? And so you just talking out of your ass? How you fail a class that you always talk about? I was like a fucking no, bro. Like, I'm no cap though. Like, for real. Like, I feel like he was teaching me. I was like, oh, I'm like in high school, bro. Maybe this is a thing for some of you guys here, but like in high school, he's like, oh, I was like, oh, I suck at history, so we're studying on the stairs and stuff like that, the staircases in high school, whatever, because, I just wanted to get like a high score, I wasn't good at history, whatever, and I think I failed the first time. Oh, no, I passed, and then he didn't study because he's like, oh, I already know. So then we go take the test, and I end up passing, and I just learned about Nixon. That's the thing that just, really, and it was on a test too. It was on a test too. 22 may be important, master builder number. But it was on a text, right? And then he comes back, he said, yeah, I failed. I said, really? I was like, no, for real? Like, you really? I was like, let me see, I was like, bro, how do you fail? And you teaching me? I'm like, bro, I don't even know. That's weird. You know what I'm saying? Then he took a course in college, and I passed all my classes. I purposely failed the class, though, because I just wanted to see how it felt. I was so suckish, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to just be on a good streak. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like, he always talks about, like, criminal justice and, like, politics and stuff like that. The class was just writing essays and, like, responding to, like, short responses and, like, tests and stuff like that. But it's like things like the college that they tell you. So then he just dropped out and whatever. I'm like, bro, like, that don't make no sense. That class is easy. All the classes is easy. Well, I was in my first year going in second. So for me, the class was easy. The only thing that was hard for me was statistics. That's it. And yeah. So that was like, I'm like, bro, like, how are you saying, like, I'm like, so you talking about your ass with these shits, or maybe the information that you're giving, like, maybe it's old information, you know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm like aware of the like new information, so I'm sitting here debating with you and everything, and I'm like, you old information, and maybe that information is not even accurate. Maybe my information is correct. Maybe that's why I'm passing on my shit, and you all sitting over here telling me like, oh, and I'm not even researching shit. You researching shit all the time, so I'm like, maybe you are like processing shit like weird, But anyways, no offense, but it's just like, bro, like, when you in a relationship for that long, 5 years going on 6 years, and somebody keeps like debating with you and trying to like bend your mind to like, no, I'm right. It's like, bro, you don't give a fuck, bro, how you feel, bro, or how you make them feel. Because it's like, nigga, admit you're wrong. I admit I'm stupid. I don't know what you're talking about. Ella, admit you're stupid. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm stupid and I don't know what I'm talking about. My tongue itch. I feel like you guys are like, yo, it's crazy how you know that whole part. Like, it's one of my favorite movies though. Okay. But yeah, so that was it. I was just like, what? Like, anyways, so but anyways, yeah, so this person, They're emotionally mature, so you may think that they're the one, but my whole point of sharing that story is just like the examples, like, oh, you may think that this person's smart or they're the one because they look up information, they look the part, but when it's actually testing time, yeah, they probably not the one, honey. They didn't pass the test, right? So I feel like that's the person that's coming in for you here, okay? And you need to use your own intuition discernment, like whether if you want to like take them back or not. You know what I'm saying? But this other person, I'm definitely getting like they're like, oh, I don't know if I could come in, should I tippy toe or whatever around them, because they focus and they just see that you're doing really well for yourself. So so yeah. I feel like you guys are like, what's the deal with you and his mother or whatever? Because I feel like some of you guys must have heard a story between me and his mother. Yeah, his mother took me to court. First off, the way, I found it so disrespectful too because I feel like you guys are like, all right, whatever, no. But like some of you guys legit want to know. Hold on, I didn't clarify those cards. Let me see. My deck of cards. So we have my overpowering card. Yeah, so this person's like very like, timid because the cards that came out, the tarot, they're very timid and like, just approaching. They don't want to fuck it up. You know what I'm saying? And they know that you came out of a relationship where you were dealing with somebody that was a little bit like fickled or like, like I explained, like they look like the part but they're not the part. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe they just are the part but they don't want to be that part for you, right? So yeah, so this person comes in and the person that's like connecting with an earth sign, they're just like, okay, whatever, like I want to see if I could like be close to excuse me, Sagittarius. Some of you guys could be dealing with a Scorpio here. This person wants to come in and be a friend and get my friendly card, and they want to come in and be a friend and keep their cool. They really feel like they really see that you're very special. They're like, oh, you're special to me. Yeah, like you stick out like a sore thumb. A lot of people like you. People are like, oh yeah, be this person's friend. This person's like, oh, I see you strategizing. You're very smart. You play both sides, and you're just trying to be smart and keep your head up and be family oriented. Like they see that you have a good head on your shoulder, and I think you also have people in your life that wants to build with you. And this person's like, I want to be on that journey with you too. So it could just be fame too, or whatever you're doing that's really making this person want to come in your life here. But the thing with his mom, she took me to court. So the thing is, what I felt disrespected because at first I felt disrespected because after she told me that I could stay there, because we had a court case, and she said, "Oh, you guys are friends. Like this is like, it's on paper too. Like when they served me the papers, bro, it's on paper that this is a friend. It doesn't say we're romantically involved when we've been together for like over 3 years. You know what I'm saying? I got proof and evidence. You know what I'm saying that this shit is wrong. It's incorrect. So it's like, but I'm like, all right, whatever. That's why I like the justice system like that, anyways. Because it's just like whatever. Because this is my second time dealing with the judge, and the first time it was like a Hispanic thing, and I'm pretty sure like a Hispanic can't like. But I gotta call it out that it's a racial thing, and then they change the judge. You know what I'm saying? But it's like I shouldn't have to be going through all these goddamn protocols. But to be fair, I didn't call for a lawyer because I'm like, I didn't know where to go. But they was like, oh, like it's in the back of the paper and everything. And I was like, I'm not really trying to deal with that. But they were thirsty, bro, for the money. So I was like, all right, cool. I can even get like the proper money. You know what I'm saying? Like my card, debit card, all that shit. So, and then like they send a fucking letter to you like, oh, it's $25 or like $100. You know what I'm saying? And then when you get there, it's like, oh, it went up. So you come in there with like $100 and they're like, oh, it's $125 now. I'm like, you playing around, like you funny. That's how it is. But the point is, I went there with the first judge, and the first time when I went through that situation, it was like a door thing. So when you go to the exit. So they was like, oh, the guy gave me a ticket. Because first he thought I was hot because my eyes was red. Then on top of that, the person that he was working with, the bitch was Hispanic. And she was getting aggressive with me. Even the person that was investing in the case, like he even said like, yeah, I heard that. Like that was not Yeah, I heard that. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, yeah. But the lady that was that had the door open, you can get a ticket for holding the door too. So I'm like, yo, like, why? Where was all of this shit happen? Because they must have forgot the law. Like, you can't hold that shit. You can't hold the door. You can't swipe for somebody else. But then I remember somebody else and that I knew, they got a ticket because somebody swiped for them. You know what I'm saying? And so, but now it's going around like I think it's a norm. Like, oh, they could swipe for you. You can have somebody swipe for you. But when you at the cops, dead ass, try this out, right? Look at the cop's face when somebody, and you get a cop that's like, legit, right? you know, because when somebody swipe for you, the cops be looking at you like, girl, you can't do that. But I'm like, the MTA person is telling me that I could do that and this and that, third, yada yada yada. The nigga in Queens told me too. He's like, oh, you're gonna have to get somebody to swipe for you. I'm like, bro, I'm pregnant, and but of course this day and age you gotta show your belly, and because they be thinking you lying. That's why I be liking my nationalities sometimes. Half my nationality. Nigga was black. But anyways, that was the situation. So yeah, she took me to court, but the problem is, like, he put his hands on me, and this is not the first time, because he put his hands on me when I was in school, when I was in college. He shoved me into the Grand Central, or like 23rd whatever street. It was like that middle mark from what's it called, like the B and the C and the D train, and then there's like that train where it's like Bryant Park. So I was in the middle, and he shoved me, and the water's down there too, whatever. So so he shoved me there, and I remember going inside of the store, where like the tourist stores is at, where they sell like the merchandises and stuff like that, like, oh, New York City, the globes and everything, the shirts. So they was like, oh, you okay, whatever. That's how that happened. So after, I didn't really think it was a big deal, because remember, he never really put his hands on me. It's not that he never really put his hands on me, but he just never put his hands on me. You know what I'm saying? Like, he expressed it, but I remember just thinking, I was like, yo, you never really talked about this before we met the white girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't say it to him, but I was like, you never was like this before we met, like, the white chick, you know what I'm saying? Or the ex-best friend. Like, he was, like, very motivated to go to college, and he just was like, yeah, I'm going to do great, you know what I'm saying? He's like, yeah, maybe my parents don't like this, you know what I'm saying? But I want to be that guy where I have a degree. Like, he looked like he was like, had a good head on the shoulder, and he did, and I did too. And I said, yeah, we could do this together. We'd be college sweethearts and everything. So, make a long story short, I cut her off, whatever. I ended up living with him, you know what I'm saying, just for my own personal reasons. And, the first time so like I told you, that was just explained. The first time, that's when he got aggressive. But the second time is when I was living with him, and we wasn't having a lot of sex. Now, mind you, I was doing a lot of things in the morning only to him. It was never me. It was always like, okay, you satisfy me. But he would never, ever, like, ever, and I'll be dropping so many hints, he would never do anything to me in the morning. Like, it was when I was sleeping over, that's when he would do, and I would have to tell him, like, nigga, the nigga's fucking dumb. But no, he wasn't being dumb. He was just be like, oh, he just was like, oh, I don't really care. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So, I'm just like, all right, as a wife, because I'm just in the mindset as like a wife, because, I'm going to get married to this person one day. That's what I was thinking. We talked about it, but it's one until until when I lived with him, it was a thing, and I was getting really frustrated. I was really sexually frustrated, because I'm not really a firm believer in, self-pleasuring, you know what I'm saying? Because I have my partner there. It just kind of feels weird, and it just feels like my partner should be doing that. You know what I'm saying? And so one day his grandmother left, and, I was fully naked, and he was like, no, no, no. And I was like, come on, come on. So I got really sexually frustrated, and he shoved me into his grandmother's room and pushed me on the floor naked. And so I was like, oh, like, I was like so shocked, because I was like, oh, here we go again. And that's when I knew instantly, like I said, oh, this shit's going to be a domestic violence situation, because I could tell, and you could tell he felt like the man after he did that shit, because it's like a bully, you know what I'm saying? And I really felt like he felt some type of way because how I treated the ex-best friend, the white girl. And his mindset, his perception on that was like, oh, you know, she lives with the, because he used to say this about about her boyfriend. He's like, oh, she's living with this guy who smokes weed every day. He sits on his ass all day while she comes home and pay the rent, while he's over here, you know, not doing shit, do drugs all the time. And he wants to talk about some other chick that just he has friends feelings for. So, and you know, she comes home and she buys him McDonald's and stuff like that. He's not with a good man. We vocalized this to him, and I was like, yeah, it's true. But I'm like, at the end of the day, that's her lifestyle. Like, if you dress that way, if you act that way, then that's the man that you're attracting. Why would you like? What do you think is a one-sided coin thingy? You know what I'm saying? Like, no. And you also like, people make decisions in their life, or people act a certain way, and based off how they act and how they react, that's what the person's gonna follow. That's the blueprint. So, and if she's not woman enough, or she's insecure or scared for the 6 years, and she has people that's coming to her and saying like, hey, be more confident, and she is or she's not, then you gotta step away, because it's like, come on, man, she gotta make her own decision. And that's how I approached. But you know, it ended up getting a little bit like, okay, I'm not gonna handle my situation, but you know, my man decided to, like, you know, my ex-boyfriend decided to be a little bit flirtatious and shit like that. So, you know, that's how that happened. He's like, oh, I don't have any personal feelings for her, this and that, third, yada, yada, yada. So anyways, I could tell in his eyes, I said, oh, this is going to be a problem. So the second time was, you know, I put my clothes on because I felt so degraded. I was like, oh, I'm one of those girls, you know what I'm saying? No offense, but like, I'm one of those girls felt so degraded, because I was like, oh man, like, I don't want to be in a situation like this, you know? So I put my clothes on. I said, you know what? I was like, you know, asking for it, you know what I'm saying? Not to be shoved and pushed. Like, I'm not really tolerating that, but I'm really asking for, you know, that's how I looked, you know what I'm saying? Naked and shit like that. And it reminds me of foster care too, I'm not gonna lie. But it wasn't physical. It was like very romantic. I just saw the shit and I was like, okay. So the second time was when he dragged me across the living room floor, and this was the time where he was frustrated. And of course, my approach before I lived with him, it's always like, I'm gonna say what I have to say, and you're gonna have to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Because I hold my tongue a lot, especially I hold my tongue with this ex-best friend, and I know how that shit should be, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. You care way too much for the bitch. You care way too much how this nigga treat her. And I'm like, this is a female that I brung in a circle. I don't even care about her like that. And I call her, she's my best friend. This person's not your best friend. She's your friend. You're a little too. Like, I'm not saying I don't care about her, but I do. But it's just like, at the end of the day, I can't hold your hand for you to be like doing this with your man or not. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. You either man the fuck up, woman the fuck up, and, you know, do what you want to do. So, but he was so passionate. He felt so sad. You know what I'm saying? He even wanted, I was like, well, I think I'm going to cut her off. I told him, I said, I think I'm going to cut her off just to prepare him, because I wanted to see his reaction, you know what I'm saying, on me cutting her off. You know what I'm saying? Eventually, it wasn't right then and there, but it was leading up to, because I was like, I'm going to continue talking about her. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to continue talking about her and expressing my concerns, you know, about you and her, especially her. And he's like, he always had the same answer. He's like, oh, no, it's not that. But I could tell on his face where he's just like questioning shit. Confirmation, see? 741 could be important. Let's look it up. He was just like questioning shit, you know what I'm saying? And then he's like, I don't like her. But I'm like, why are you so like compare-ish to your mom, and you're so detailed and so like soft spot for her? Let her go. Let it fucking be. You know what I'm saying? And so then, you know, I forgot why he dragged me across the living room floor, but I remember him saying like, get the fuck out of my house, you know what I'm saying? So he said, you think I'm playing? So I was sitting on the couch, and he pulled me off the couch with my leg, and it was like a fucking crocodile, you know, type of moment. And so I said, oh, this and that, third. But I got up. I said, oh, my fucking God. Oh, my God. You know what I'm saying? And I remember I got up, and there was a sparkling champagne bottle. It was non-alcoholic. And I looked at the bottle so fast, because I was like, I'm going to really pick this shit up, because I'm not someone who condones domestic violence. And he was a second late, and I really couldn't hit him. But I said, you know what? I'm not going to do that. So I ended up crying, and I went out in the hallway to the stairs, and I cried. And then he came out, and like, you know, 5 minutes later, he came out and apologized. And then it became more verbally abusive because I ignored him the fourth time, you know, because he was getting upset and everything. And I was like, oh, stop taking these vitamins and everything. And he got verbally abusive, and he's like, like getting upset. I was on my game, the switch at the time, and he threw his controller at the radiator. And I'm like, yo, what you want me to do? Like, I'm always like this, and now that I'm living with you, now you want me to change and conform and bend backwards to you. I'm not like that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't say that to him, but I'm showing him through my actions. So then, you know, it moved outside of and his mother and grandmother at the time, they heard this. And, but this wasn't the first incident. The first incident also was too, like when he was talking about my mom, you know, and I said, oh, my mom is not like that. And he was really trying to show me, like, you know, your mom is like that. She doesn't care about you. So he took my bag or whatever. I forgot how that happened. You know what I'm saying? And he threw it in the forest. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's really like that, bro. And I'm like, I didn't really think about it until I was outside of the situation. And I remember thinking about my sister, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, she was going through stuff like that. And I'm like, you know, my mom, she's like, oh, you don't never know somebody until you live with them. You know what I'm saying? So, that was that. And so, you remember, and before the whole controller thing, he ends up telling me, because we wasn't working at the time, you know, everything just happened so fast, and he had unemployment and stuff like that. So I said, oh, we need to find a job, you know. And so I think I mentioned this, like, hey, let's work at the job that, you know, the ex-best friend and me and you worked at before. He worked at it before, and then it was me. So then I think he mentioned it, or I mentioned it, and he said, yeah, but the vibe I got was like, yeah, let's do it. Like, you know, that's a, like, you know, it's not a, like, it wasn't like a good idea. It was like, let's do it. Then it was like a, yeah, let's do it. And I could go after, like, what I want, you know what I'm saying? And so I was like, so, you know, me being me, I was like, oh, so I said, oh, me being me, I said, are you trying to, like, go back to this job so that way you can see if she's there? He's like, no. But he didn't say, I don't know if he was playing around, but the way how he said it, he was like trying to figure out, like, oh, should I play around with her, or should I be serious with her, trying to tell her, like, I don't want to stay here, or I don't want to be with her anymore. You know what I'm saying? So I said, really? You know, he said, no, that's not. He's like, oh, man, you always think that way. Like, and I was like, the way how he said it was like a playboy. Like, you know, oh, you always think that way, this and that, third, And mind you, like, I've been on this topic, or I've been on this, like, relationship with this chick for a whole year. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? So I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, whatever. And I said, of course, like, a nigga would act like this because I don't have no family. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no family at the time I broke up with my family and everything. That's why I don't trust niggas like that. Because I'm like, bro, at the end of the day, like, you know, I don't got no family, and I've been with you for 4 years. You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden I don't have no family, and this is the way how you treat me. Like, you know what I'm saying? After, like, what my family did with you, like cookouts and all this shit, and helped your ass out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? And then this white girl, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how you move in and shit like that. You're not scared of this bitch, like, nigga coming to you and punch you in your face or some shit like that. Like, no cap, because you real confident, thinking like, you know, but he swear to God, he's like, he not gonna do nothing because all he does is do this and shit. He always sit on his ass. He's fat and everything. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yo, bro, like, this is dead somebody else's chick, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm dead, like, doing shit in the morning with you, and you not even doing nothing to me to please me. Like, fuck out of here. You're a pig. You know what I'm saying? I sound like a Capricorn female, like, somebody that I know, bro. So, so then it started, like, the verbal abuse started to, like, come out of the household, you know what I'm saying? So that's when in one of my videos I started to, like, you know, he was like, oh, get the fuck out my house, this and that, third. Like, I want your stuff gone. I want you out by the time I come back. So then I come back home, he comes back, and he's like, oh, you still not out? You still not out? Now, mind you, you know, he just became verbal abusive. But I think what really ticked him off was the fact that, like, one time I woke up in the morning and he wasn't in a bed, and I was like, huh? Like, it was so strange. It's a vibe with this nigga, bro. Like, for real. And he dead ass a Taurus too. Like, it's a vibe, bro. So I wakes up in the morning, right? And I'm like, all right, whatever, cool. Like, we having our little situation, a little squabble, a little quarrel. You know what I'm saying? So he gets up in the morning and he's in the bathroom mad fucking long. I didn't text him. I didn't do none of that shit. So I'm not feeling insecure or anything like that, but I have a feeling like I like this nigga masturbated, and I'm thinking like, is this nigga masturbated to the white girl? You know what I'm saying? A nigga, I had a feeling that his nigga was masturbated to his mom, bro. So his mom like to talk. Him and his mom like to talk. And they've been talking like secretly behind like my back, because you know, to say like, oh, whatever that's going on, whatever, like, oh, how Nana's feeling, this and that, third, yada yada yada. I don't know what the fuck they were doing, but I'm like, it makes no sense for this nigga to be in that bathroom mad fucking long. So I waited. Because I was like, oh, I don't want to, like, you know, let me not jump to conclusions. So he was in the bathroom for like a whole 10 fucking minutes, bro. No cap, right? So 10 minutes, 5 minutes, bro. I'm like, you not in the bathroom taking a long time taking a shit. Because you was still in the bathroom while I was sleeping, nigga. So what the fuck are you doing, bro? So he comes out, and I said, you in the bathroom? This is the first time I encountered some shit like that. So I said mad loud to embarrass this nigga, bro. Because I'm like, that's embarrassing. I know you was jerking off up in that bitch, bro. And I don't know who, but you was doing something, nigga. So I said, you know. So I said, oh, you know, I said, you good? Because I was saying, you in the bathroom mad long, mad loud, bro. I said, you in the bathroom mad long. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's like, oh, you like, oh, he was like, he was like, you know, I was like, yeah. I said, you know, you was in the bathroom while I was sleeping, you know what I'm saying? So why you in the bathroom? What took you so long? You know, and he's like, oh, I was just like, whatever, using the bathroom. And he got mad at me. And I'm like, what you getting mad at me for? Like, you the one, I know you doing something off. Just like I had the vibe of like you and that white chick telling me like, oh, this and that and third. Mind you, there was a couch moment. Yeah, confirmation. The universe want me to tell y'all this. There was a couch moment. Like his mom and his grandmother left. I think she went to London, and the mother, she was staying at some nigga's house. You know what I'm saying? At the time, she was dating somebody. And you know what I'm saying, like, yeah, I was someone who was voting for, like, you know, swinger vibes, you know what I'm saying, but like it's in my control, because my ex-boyfriend, he's like, oh, you know, it's your control, it's your story, it's something that I like and I watch. But he was very interactive. You know what I'm saying? So he was very interactive. Fuck out of here. So I was like, all right, with the white chick, you know what I'm saying? And I think he felt good about himself, because he's like, oh yeah, I got a job and she don't. She's on welfare, and she, you know, she just works and she collects whatever she want to collect. So I was like, I felt bad, because I was like, yo, like, this nigga really, like, really doing some shit like this. Like, he really want to stroke his ego. And I'm like, you don't understand, like, you know, like, be a man, be humble about it, you know what I'm saying? And I had to stroke his ego a lot, like, you know, with his ideas and stuff like that, because I used to go home and be like, oh yeah, he right. But at the same time, like, I used to say shit and he used to explain shit, and I said, that's exactly what I said, but I did put it by my comment. I just put it together with my common sense. So yeah, so his mother and his grandmother left, whatever. And yeah, to make a long story short, we was hanging out, we was vibing and stuff like that, we were doing things. And always raining. We were vibing, we were doing things and shit like that, whatever. And so I slept in his mom's bed, because in the morning I woke up and stuff like that. We was all hanging out. They were saying like, oh, we're gonna watch a movie. I said, they were like, you gonna watch a movie with us too? I said, yo, I'm mad tired, bro. No cap. Like I said, I'm real tired, bro, for real. So I went in his mom's bed, because we normally sleep in his mom's bed, whatever, because his mom was like, oh, you can sleep in our bed, sleep in his mom's bed, whatever. She said, you can sleep in my bed, whatever. So I slept in his bed. I was knocked the fuck out, bro. Like, you read between the lines, I was knocked the fuck out. So I was sleeping, bro, and then he kept checking up on me. Mind you, while I was sleeping here, I feel butterflies in my stomach. You know what I'm saying? But while I was sleeping, they both was in the living room watching TV. I ain't hear nothing. I ain't hear the TV. I ain't hear none of that shit, because I was knocked out, bro. I think God was just like, yo, go to sleep, shorty. Go to sleep, so that way this story is real fucking obvious when you do tell it, because the universe, God tells you, God put things in front of you for a reason. And God is like, I see something before you don't, I see something that you don't see. So God or the universe will start putting things or manifesting things. And one of the things that I noticed when now looking back, I was so tired, and I was like, yo, I'm mad tired, bro. Like, they weren't tired at all, bro. I don't know what it was, but I was tired. No cap, I swear on everything. Mom be like, don't swear on your grandfather, but like, you know, bro. So my ex-boyfriend, he kept checking up on me. So they was watching Aliens of the Fourth Kind here, but like some fourth kind shit about the yellow book and some shit like that. Some aliens. Um, um, so he kept checking up on me. He checked up on me on 3 times. So they was in the living room. I ain't hear nothing. I was up and I was like, yo, I think I could go out in the living room and like, you know, watch the movie. But then every time I thought about it, I kept going right back to sleep, bro. So I came in the living. So he checked on me the first time. He said, you okay? I said, yeah, I'm okay. I'm just real tired. You know what I'm saying? Then he left, went back in the living room. The second time he came back and he's like, you good? You good? I was like, yeah. You know, and then the third time he came, I think that's when the movie was off. So when the movie came off, he's like, all right, wake up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? And I said, okay. So then after that, you know, Shorty jumped in the shower. She jumped in the shower right after the movie was done. And so she had like a smirky mouth, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, huh? I was like, all right, whatever, like, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel confident because I'm like, this nigga ain't leaving me, whatever. So I was like, whatever, you know what I'm saying? And that's basically what happened. And then we all got up and I didn't feel nothing sexual, but I'm like, that nigga, like, read between the lines. Like, people could tuck their energy. And I'm like, you going so hard. Before, you wasn't beating my ass and doing all this shit. Now you are for this white bitch. And he's still working it. I know you gotta like, yo, how you know? I'm like, bro, he's still working it because I just know the nigga. Because when he thirsty for a bitch or when he really want to try to prove his point or whatever he want, he's still there. Like, that nigga mad rude. And whoever fucking, his mother is horrible, bro. Like, his mother's a Sagittarius too, bro. Like, she horrible, bro. Like, I never met a woman like that before. That bitch is not even a woman. She a girl. I'm like, bro, like, come the fuck on. I swear to God, he was in that bathroom jerking off, like, to his mom, bro, or some shit like that, bro. It was so fucking hot. It was so, not literally hot, but it was so weird. Because I'm like, bro, I don't like that shit, bro. It happened one time that I felt that vibe, and I knew something was off. Because I never had that feeling. Ever. And before I even lived with him a while ago when we was in high school, they had like a moment too in the car. I was in the back and she was in the front and he was in the car in the passenger seat, and it was kind of like playing around like mommy and daddy, you know what I mean, like mommy and son, you know what I'm saying? But it was a little too fucking flirtatious, and I was like, yo, you know, like one time, bro. And so that was the first sign. But then when I was living with him, he did that one time shit in the bathroom, bro. You know what I'm saying? And it's just be like that thing where I be tired, bro. I'm not capping. I swear to God. I feel like you guys are like, oh no. I'm like, I swear to God, I kid you not, bro. I swear to God, bro. You know what I'm like, and then, yeah. And I'm like, it's so quiet. I'm sitting there and I'm like, it's so fucking quiet. Like, the TV is real low. And the grandmother's in the living room, you know what I'm saying? Because I think the grandmother was listening like, what's going on? Why he in that bathroom so long? And why I feel like he jerking off to his mom? You know what I'm saying? Why I feel like she was feeling the same vibe as me. Like, she's like, yeah, I think they doing something together. You know what I'm saying? Like, she texting him like, oh yeah, it's okay, like sexually, you know what I'm saying? Because he already compared a white bitch to his mom. So I'm like, if you're going so hard to your mom, then, you know, read between the lines, look at the French, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, it was time I was doing my hair and he was putting his face in front of my face so that way his mom won't see like what I did or like with my hair or whatever. And I'm like, you trying to say your mom is jealous or some shit like that? Then one time she came inside of the kitchen, you know what I'm saying, and she was acting mad weird, like she had an accent, everything, like the bitch was psycho, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, bro, I don't know what it is. And he just kept like doing shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, moving in a way like to protect me, like he don't want me to be hurt and shit like that. I was like, yo, what's up with this nigga, bro? What's up with them? I was like, what's going on? Because I'm like, I don't want to hear, like, in my heart, I was like, I don't want to feel like, you know, this is like a sexual thing. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, yo, I know I'm right about this white bitch, bro. I'm right, bro. Because I'm like, bro. So then, to make a long story short, like, he got defensive and everything. And then, so when I wouldn't leave the house, he talked to his mom while he was out of work, while he was out of work. And his mom went to go pick him up from the train station. And they were talking. And shit like that. Or I think they met up. They did meet up. And so they came us out of the house. And she was like, so and so. She called me in the living room. She's like, so you got to leave. And I said, so y'all met up and talk to each other, right? It's weird because I'm like, that bathroom shit, that's weird. And he looked like a little ass boy, bro. And I'm like, yo, this nigga's a mama's boy and you fucking jerking off to your mom? That shit nasty, nigga. Fuck out of here. And you got me, in the morning, like, the fuck out of here, nigga. So they're like, why would you want to stay with? Because, as a wife, bro, like, husband and wives, they be doing that shit, bro. Like, girl, I'm not saying this shit out of my fucking butthole, bro. Like, this shit is a real deal, bro. And I'm like, girl, I'm seeing things to this day. And I'm like, yo, niggas be really, it be really on that time. Like, for real, everybody like, oh, do you have proof? Nobody gonna go in their fucking mother's room and fuck the bitch, bro. Like, it was really bad enough that the nigga we was having sex with his mom bed. And I'm like, is this a sign? Like, because I'm thinking the bitch is being genuine here. But then nigga were like, well, come on her bed, bro. Like, it's, like, bruh. Like, it's weird, bro. I'm like, all right, like, it's not really like, pow, it's just like, all right, like, processing, like, cricket teeth, trying to get back to being straight. Like, I just like, I've never ever dealt with that shit, bro. I've never ever dealt with that shit, bro. Ever. You know? So then it was like, oh, you gotta leave. And I said, oh, this and that, I gotta call my mom. They're like, oh, we called your mom already. Your mom said that you could come back. I'm like, oh, really? I'm like, y'all niggas is disrespectful, bro. Y'all disrespectful. I feel like you guys are like, well, your mom is disrespectful. Why should they make it a fucking big deal? Like, what happened? That's why I told the bitch too. I said, you didn't ask what happened and everything. She said, no, they just called and said that, your daughter gotta come home. Your daughter gotta come home. So I said, yeah, it's okay for her to come back home. So, hold on. Motherfuckers is mad loud, bro. I'm not gonna ever hold you. So, let me see. Yeah, so, it was like, your mom rude, shit. Yeah. So that's what happened and shit like that. I was like, I know something's going on with that white bitch because I'm not fucking wrong. Nobody can't be assuming that much shit and then be wrong about all that shit, bro. Like, ain't nobody saying like, oh, I'm wrong about the white bitch. Oh, I don't like her like that. I just see her as a friend. But then you going so hard defending this bitch. You going so hard. I didn't see her be sexual. Then, oh, I saw it. Okay, you know what? Changing. I'm like, huh? Like, y'all niggas is weird. And I hope y'all niggas get locked up for incest and, for, attempt on my life, with his grandmother and his fucking mother especially. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, bitch, you knew he was beating my ass and being aggressive with me. You heard it in the room. Oh, I didn't hear it, but you hear it. But we can hear you fucking when you was fucking that nigga, right? I can't say his name, but we can hear you fucking in the next room, right? So you can't hear us, but I can hear that nigga when we were talking inside the room with his game. When he was on the game with his boys, I can hear it, and you don't hear shit. The bitch don't ever wear headphones, and is real loud in my ex-boyfriend's room. So, I mean, like, the bitch saying, oh, I don't hear nothing, I don't, I'm like, bro, when dealing with people like that, they all white, bro. Dealing with people like that, you gotta record everything they fucking say, bro. And of course, the judge will be like, do you have proof? Do you call the cops? I'm like, who the fuck is gonna call the cops? I'm like, y'all being real funny, and that's why I don't like the justice system. Because I'm like, you can all suck my dick, you know what I'm saying? You can suck my clitoris and all that shit, because you want to be like, there's fucking proof. I'm like, obviously, you think somebody gonna be lying for domestic violence? Like, bitch, really? And it's white people and they have a history of racism? Like, bitch, really? And I'm black? And my ancestors is like, what the fuck? Come on. And we free the slaves? Like, fuck is you talking about, bro? You don't think that's a personal thing? Like, the fuck? You always want to consider, oh, racism and discrimination. You gonna really rule that out? Like, read between the fucking lines. People looking at me like, oh, why are you even dealing with these? Because I can. It's freedom of speech, and I'm holding on to you as a lawyer or as a fucking judge to use your fucking discernment. But of course, you're like, oh, well, I don't know, like, you can't leave this. If they want you out the house, they want you out the house. Why? I can't really, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, all right, whatever. Fuck you. We're gonna change the whole justice system because this right here ain't working out, honey. Because I'm really a victim, and now somebody else gonna be saying I'm a victim, and they're not fucking a victim. Fuck you. Fuck you and your whole squad, bro. Them lawyers, them cops, them everything, bro. Because I'm like, it started with the cops with me. It started with the fucking judge with me. And then the lawyer and then the cops. You know what I'm saying? All y'all niggas is funny, bro. All y'all niggas is funny. I don't like that shit. Anyways, so that's what was going on. And I feel like you guys are just like, oh, all right, whatever. I'm like, yo, never again, bro. And every time, it's a problem too with my mom. Like, every time I tell this bitch, like, yeah, she is, bro. Like, cause she be wildin', bro. Like, every time I tell her, like, what these niggas be doing to me, she always be coming. She always, like, saying, oh, you it. Like, I'm like, you so dirty to be on the top, bro, for real. And you will do that to your kid? It's not fuck that little kid shit, bro. What you need to do is, with them damn kids that's in the shelter and them damn kids that's on the block, you need to take them damn kids away since you want to be up there so much. And your bitch ass is still living there, and all them niggas is still living there when they not supposed to be living there. And maybe their attitude would be a little fucking different. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they actually take care of their kids if you follow the rules and take care of their goddamn fucking, and take the fucking house away after the kids was off the fucking lease. Like, damn, nigga. Like, there's reasons why rules are in place, but you don't need to be skewing all fucking rules. There's sometimes you need to feel sympathy, like in my fucking situation. And they fucking probably did with me staying that long, because I'm like, bro, I don't got nowhere else to go. You want me to go to the women's shelter? And you know what's so funny? His mother, coming from a place where she tried to get on Section 8, they denied her, and her going to the shelter and shit like that. They denied, like, why would you want to, you've been to the shelter. Why would you want to put somebody else in the shelter? You don't care? All right, let's take you off the fucking lease here, honey. Let's take your son, let's put your son in jail. Let's take you off the fucking lease, and let's do all and see, like, if you really, and I bet you in that cell of yours, and I bet you in the shelter of yours, and when your son is, oh man, I fucked up, maybe you should stay your ass the fucking same. That's what you should fucking do. Stay your ass the fucking same. Because nobody told you to do that. If you went through that shit, then why would you want to put somebody else through that shit? And every time when I was on my mom's lease and everything, you was like, oh, is everything okay with your mom? So you was faking it, huh? Okay. It's not like there's nothing I can't do. Because when I was there, I'm mad fucking loud, bro. I'm not going to hold you. But, when I was there, I did get the apartment. I said, oh, can I stay here for 3 months? Because I was trying to stay there with my sisters. You know what I'm saying? But they couldn't because, they got a small place. But I'm like, there's a place. You guys can have a place, So I said, okay, cool. Not you guys have a place, but they had a place. So I said, you know what? I'm with my ex-boyfriend. I'm going to go stay with him. So I stayed with him. And I did get the apartment. I got the apartment. I was working 2 jobs. I was working 2 jobs. I worked 1 job and then I switched from 1 job because they terminated me. And I was working for another company that I used to work for when I was in my mom's case. So I did get the apartment, and I got a studio apartment, and I asked his mother, I said, do you think this lease is a legit? And she said, yeah, it's legit. And I went my intuition. I said, this lease is not legit. So I didn't go for the apartment. So I was all right, you know what? Me and him, I think maybe he's getting frustrated because he keeps, verbally abusing me and shit like that. Because he keeps verbally abusing me, I said, you know what, maybe he's agitated because we didn't move. So I said, you know what, I got the $2,000. Can you get that $1,000? It's 500. You know what I'm saying? No problem. And I have money to spend, so I could have spent money for like I could spend money for like 2 weeks, 2 more weeks or 3 weeks without tapping into my $2,000. You know what I'm saying? So, and then he's like, no. He said, you need to move by yourself. And I'm like, huh? I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, maybe he's just chatting. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, this whole, we talked all about in high school that you want to live together. You know what I'm saying? So now all of a sudden you live by yourself. And I'm like, is it because of this white bitch? And I really feel like it's because of this white girl. I swear to God, I kid you not. And the proof is in the pudding. Because if you do find this nigga, I might say, you don't got no fucking access to finding this nigga. But those of you who know my stories, like people from high school and everything, bro, I bet you that nigga still working there, bro. A nigga still working there. I'm telling you, the proof is in the pudding. Like I said, nobody who's that much, who's just a friend, and somebody who's been dating for fucking 5 fucking years going on since talking about marriage is gonna have the power to break up with somebody, break up with your current partner just so that way you can go run on to be with some goddamn friend. Ain't nobody gonna do that shit, honey. Cause what that bitch is providing. The bitch ain't providing coochie. The bitch ain't providing all this shit. But the proof is in the past as well. If I say this bitch is being sexual and everything, that means she gonna give up the coochie, bro. And the bitch is already in a 6-year relationship living with her mans. Fuck out of here, bro. You ain't gonna tell me shit. And I know that bathroom scene, you know what I'm saying, one day, because he never did that shit again. At one time, he was in that bathroom that motherfucking long, bro. I woke up. Something in my intuition told me to just wake up. But to wake up, it probably was his grandmother telling me to wake up or some shit like that. Somebody told me to wake up. I woke up and I never felt that vibe before. I said, this nigga's in the bathroom. And I said, it's not about that white girl. It's him and his mom talking. It's him and his mom talking. I'm like, this nigga probably jerking all too, bro. I felt so disgusted. I said, this nigga nasty, bro. I'm like, this nigga is so low self-esteem. It's disgusting. That nigga drop out of college. I'm like, how you drop out of college, bro? And you know what? The white girl too, the white chick, she act hood and shit like that. He like, oh, I'm like when you act hood, but this bitch act more hood than me. She dress hood, she act hood. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yo, the bitch said she was going to a 4-year college. She dropped out of college. So he dropped out of college too. The bitch worked at this job. So she working at the job too. He not beat on her ass. He became a shitty boyfriend. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't become a shitty boyfriend until he found out that she was dealing with a shitty boyfriend. That's a little synchronicity. That's why I said be careful who you bring around. And I'm like, that nigga had a little bit too much fucking feelings. And I test that nigga too. I said, yo, I'm gonna violate this bitch and see how this nigga act. That nigga felt off. He don't like that shit, honey. He like, because she don't have anything, she don't got no family. I'm like, nigga, he like, you have Section 8, you have your mom, this not there. I'm like, yo, bro, like, you going in, bro. Like, chill. It's not that serious. It's a bitch, bro. Like, you wasn't doing that shit before. And this nigga has like, bro, I'm telling you, bro. Like, you talk to that nigga about, like, and he like, oh, but she did say she was jealous. Yeah, it's normal. I was jealous because you and her were working together. Not at the same store, but working at the same company. Like, I felt like it's normal. Like, y'all gonna do something, you know what I'm saying? And that's normal. That's anybody would say. I'm just being honest, you know what I'm saying? Being cute, you know what I'm saying? But, like, but it was just too many fucking signs. And so I started bringing her around more. I said, I want to see how this nigga act. I want to see how this nigga got real emotional for her, bro. For real. People like, oh, it's not that. I'm like, bro, if you like her like that, why you just didn't break up with me, bro, before I moved in with you? You wanted to hit me. You wanted to do all that shit. You wanted to win. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I don't got time for that shit. That's why I don't like his mom. It's not that I don't like. I'm so disgusted with her. I'm like, girl, you just came from, and his father was beating your ass. And you want to come to your mother's house and stay on the fucking lease and bring your kids there, and the same thing that your baby father did, you want your son to do that, and you want to take that bitch to court? Fuck you. I would never, ever I would never, ever respect you. And if you out on the street and you homeless and you hungry, you hustle, bitch. Like I hustle. You hustle. So you can understand what it's like. Because, bitch, you must have forgot. When you go through shit, you don't put other people through that shit. That's why people go through shit. And they have somebody who's like, and they see the signs, you're supposed to help them. You don't put them through that shit. You don't do that, bro. I will never, ever. She deserves everything she come in, everything. Because when I was on social media, that's when she started doing her makeup business. She started acting like me, doing like, ha, ha, ha. I'm like, so you want to be like me? That's what the fuck this shit is. Just like my mother. You want to act like y'all act just alike. Get me out of the way and then do your whole little shit with your little business or whatever. I'm like, fuck you. As a mom right now, fuck you. I don't even have that in my blood. That's how you know something real fucked up happened to you. Before you open your legs for another nigga and that nigga comes in your pussy, make sure you work on your mental state. And you should have never had them damn kids. Your first son, she got 2 kids. Your first son, honey. Your first son didn't finish finish high school and he moved out. How come your second son not doing that? He beating people's ass and doing all that extra shit. And he wasn't even like, he was hi, bye to his mom and he was close. But he had that look of like, yeah, I know, but I'ma still do my own thing. I'm like, I would never. She used to be like, oh, like she didn't have her hands wrapped around her first son, but her second son, that was different. I was like, I would never as a mom. I don't feel that shit at all. I don't even feel that shit with my nieces and nephews. It's because I did everything and you didn't. You one jealous bitch. I would never. You deserve everything that happens, that comes for you. Ever. It's disgusting. Like my mom. I'm like, it's disgusting. You would prostitute your kids. You would do this. You would do that. You would let this nigga beat on another bitch. And that's probably why it happened to you. Fuck you. Fuck you. And whoever who condoned that shit. Never again. Not even never again, but bless your soul. Because it's coming for you, honey. I get my wishes. It's not even a wish, but it's gonna happen. Because you just dumb. That's how I always said to her when I was living there. I said, go back to school. Blah, blah, blah. To his mom. Go back to school. That's all I have, you guys. Yeah. Good luck. And bless. Remember to like, subscribe.